So what kind of truck do you drive?
What kind of truck do I drive?
Yeah, because I get crap because I don't drive a truck. I drive a little weenie car.
Well, I got my main truck that I drive is a Ford F-150 Raptor.
A Raptor? It sounds like Jurassic Park stuff there.
Yeah, it's just kind of basically a souped up F-150, and so I got that. I got a Jeep Wrangler, and then I got a '75 Bronco that was a gift from Mr. Luke Bryan that I drive a little bit sometimes too. So those are my three. But my main truck is the F-150.
I've seen you tweet the radio station before, like, "Hey, I'm listening." You take a picture of you.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So I mean, you actually do listen to the radio.
Yes, absolutely, man.
You ever listen to our show? Be honest.
Got to see if anybody's on here like talking smack.
Why
about
would we
me,
talk
man.
smack about you?
I don't know.
What do you say about us that makes us talk smack about you? That's the question.
Nothing.
Okay then. So you're nominated for Entertainer of the Year. Okay, nobody's listening. You expected that, right? I mean, come on, I did. I knew you were going to be in the top 5 for sure.
Hey, listen,
Nobody's listening.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I mean, obviously I knew that we had a big year on the touring front, and so I figured we at least had as good a shot as anybody.
So it's you, obviously, Luke, Blake, George, and Taylor. And so if I were to ask you to say one bad thing about the other 4, because I'm sure they're...
It's competition.
I could go all day on Luke. I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And Blake.
That's a pretty big...
I'm not saying anything bad about George Strait. Forget it.
If you had to pick someone that wasn't you, who would you pick? If you're not on the list.
If I'm not on the list...
probably George, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I can't not vote for him. I mean... look at that belt buckle. It gets no more real than that. He's one of my idols too, man. So that's yeah.
You ever got to spend any time with George?
I have. I've actually. We did a show with him one time, and it was really cool because I went on stage to watch him play. I was kind of side stage, and after the show, right before his last song, I came off stage, just kind of got out of the way so they could get him off stage, and so I was just standing out by my bus, and he came walking by to go to his bus, looked over and saw me over there and walked over and hung out for a while, and got a chance to hang out with him then, and just backstage at the award shows and stuff a lot of times, and he's one of those guys that everybody in the business has a ton of respect for, and if you get a chance to talk to him for 2 minutes, man, it's a huge thing, I think, or at least it is for me. So grew up such a huge fan of his.
Amy talked his ear off because her uncle picked a weed for him or something once, right?
Well, you put it that way. No, and he came on afterwards and confirmed. My uncle was the manager of his ranch for a while.
Yeah.
And so when we met him, we were doing some stuff for the show, and I just said, hey, I don't know if you know my uncle. Obviously, I knew he did, but I was just playing it coy, I guess. And then he was like, yes, oh my gosh, we're practically related. And I was like, yeah, that's right. So then I got all excited and I just kept talking to him. People were looking at me like, wrap it up, wrap it up. And I was like, what? So then we had him on the phone. None of these guys believed me. And when he called in, he confirmed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not creepy, right? If you feel like you have a connection.
I mean, did you feel like you had a connection, or did your uncle have a connection? I was just curious.
No. Well, obviously, my uncle had the connection, but I'm related to my uncle, so therefore I have the connection.
Correct. Right. And you can tell she never stops talking.
6 degrees of separation thing going on.
One.
So are you and Ludacris boys now?
I guess.
Do you have his phone number? Would you be able to text him if you wanted to? Are you that close?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you'd be like, hey, Lud, I know you're in town. Come to the house for dinner. He'd probably say yeah?
Well, I don't know if he'd say yeah. He'd probably be more apt to, hey man, meet me at the bar. Let's drink a little bit.
Because you guys are both from Georgia. I mean, you're from Macon, right? Around Macon. He's from Atlanta,
right?
Obviously. Is that how you guys came together the first time? Since you guys were both from Georgia?
The way it first happened was when Dirt Road Anthem was out. We were doing the CMT Awards. We had a performance on there, and actually, it was the people at CMT were like, "Hey, we think it'd be cool for you to, for your performance, have somebody, a hip-hop artist come out and perform with you." And they threw around some names, and I wasn't really, I was like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really see that happening. And then they threw out Ludacris' name, and I was like, well, this might be all right, you know. And so I said the only way I would do this is if he wrote his own verse to the song, came out, and you know, he did his own thing on it. And so we kind of got in touch with him, and he did. He wrote his own verse, sent it to us, and as soon as he sent it to us, I was like, all right, this is going to work out. And then so he did the CMT Awards, and then he came out. We had some shows in Atlanta a couple years ago, and he came out and did that, and we performed on the Grammy special one time together, and then this time he came to the Athens show. So he's a lot of fun, man. He's really laid back and a lot of fun and fun to perform with on stage too. I mean, he's really good at entertaining the crowd and stuff when he's on stage. So it's every time I get a chance to perform with him, it's fun.